What's up guys, how's it going? MikeTheTech here, and we've got a fun one for you today. We've got a loot drop from MAXFREE. MAXFREE is a creator of portable screens, so hint hint, but they also have some really cool mixed devices. Like for example, they have this really awesome keyboard with a screen that goes above it that's a touch screen, and is actually a really cool and unique device. So they've got some really interesting stuff here, and I'm going to do an unboxing of what they sent over for us to review and take a look at. Now before we get started, if you're watching this video, chances are you're not subscribed, because 99% of you are not subscribed. And that's a pretty bad number, so if you like this one, be sure to click on that sub or thanks button below. Alright, so now for the unboxing itself. Now I will say this is tightly packaged but well packaged, and I'll note that it does say what the product is on the tag on the side. So if you are getting this, it's a little late to get it for Christmas obviously, but if you are getting this as a gift, just know that it is going to ship with the name on the side. Be a little careful with that. And then we're going to go ahead and open up the box itself. As I said, nice and snug in here, but you'll see why that's kind of okay when we open the packaging. And here's the package itself. We can already see what it is right on the front. The MAXFREE S1 dual screen laptop screen extender. This is a 14-inch screen, 1920 by 1080p and 60 Hertz. It is a very nice screen. It's small, so it's meant for the smaller 13-inch maybe MacBook Pros, or perhaps even I put it on a 15.4-inch laptop and it fit just fine, though you could definitely see that it was a little bit smaller on that screen. But it is a nice 14-inch screen, and 1080p is a good resolution for that. So on the back here we have the product specs. It is a 16 by 9 60 Hertz screen, and it has all these very nice cables: USB type A to C, type C to C, and HDMI to C. Very cool. It's always nice when they include the needed cables, because finding a HDMI to USB-C cable is not exactly an easy task sometimes. And here's the box itself. Very nice padding on top. And I wasn't expecting a case, but that's exactly what this is. The screen comes in its own very nice carrying case with a area to put your cables and even handles on top. So that's really cool to see. We'll set that to the side for now and take a look at what else is included. We have USB-C cables. This is an angled C to C. That's nice to have as well. And these are quality cables. You can see these aren't just the cheapo included cables. These are actually pretty nice. We have an A to C here. And then we have the HDMI to C. And I feel like this is an actually very useful cable to have, even aside from the screen. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I thought it was cool then too. So let's take a look at what else is here. We have the instruction manuals and user guide. So we have the color user guide and a smaller configuration guide, and you can see that there. And it does matter which HDMI ports you plug into. We'll talk about that a little bit later. There is one power port, there's one port that accepts power and video through C, and there's one that supports HDMI, but if you plug in the HDMI one, you will also need to plug in the power port. So that's kind of how they can get by, like some devices not supporting USB-C. Like you can plug a PS5 onto it, you can plug a Switch onto it, anything that you can plug HDMI into you can use, but you still need to power the screen separately. So here I'll put the cables into the bag and pull the screen out. You can see it has some nice handles here, so it's easy to hold, and it feels very protected too. If we take the screen out here, it's got a nice carbon fiber finish on the back there, and you can see the ports as well, and a very interesting clamp design. The ports are on the right hand side, and it kind of clamps onto itself to close, which is nice because it keeps the screen nice and protected during that. And then when you open it up, that's what it looks like. So you have the left side that clamps onto your laptop screen, and the right side, which is the screen itself. Very nice clean looking screen. And it is metal as well. It's aluminum enclosure, so it's very well made. It's not gonna, be too easy to bang it up and bend the screen or anything. Always nice to have a satisfying peel, of course. Now you can see here we have a flip tab that flips open to hold the top of the laptop screen, so it can kind of stay in place and not slide down. And then that opens up to clamp onto the sides of the screen itself. Both sides do stretch, so you can accommodate a pretty large screen on here. Again, I put it on a 15.4 inch. I wouldn't necessarily go too wide with it, but it's pretty wide. And then I've never seen this kickstand design before. It's actually really intuitive. You actually turn the bottom and pull it as far as you want to, and then turn it back, and it kind of like decides where it wants to stand. Obviously, it's not going to stand very well on its own without connecting to a laptop, but I thought that was a really intuitive design. That's pretty cool. Then we have some controls on top as well to control the screen settings. And then we have our ports here. There's also an LED. Now, it is a little bit hard to see the writing because it's engraved into the plastic or metal. I think that part's plastic. It's engraved into it, so it actually makes it a little bit hard to read at some angles. But as long as you know which one's which, you won't have a problem. Now we're going to try clamping this onto, again, this is a 15.4 inch laptop, so it's a little bit large for what it is, but it'll work. And it just clamps on like that. You just pull the kickstand out from behind and it stands up, and it just kind of swings back and forth. You could choose whatever viewing angle you'd like to view it at and go from there. So we're actually going to test this out, and here I am trying to see where the plugs were on the back of it. Alright, so now we're going to plug the HDMI in. This is already plugged into the wall for USB power, and there's the screen. And it's currently mirrored, but it works perfectly. You can also flip the top holder off and pull the screen down a bit if you want to angle it a little bit better, but otherwise you're good to go. You just plug your HDMI or USB-C in, and you've got a second monitor. Very, very cool. Was excited to receive this one. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So when you open it up, you have the screen here. It's very fingerprint prone, by the way, so carbon fiber is kind of like that, so careful with that. And there's the USB ports, but we're gonna do a full video on configuring, setting up, and using this screen in the future. But for now, I just wanted to do a quick unboxing and send a huge shout out to MAXFREE. Thank you so much for sending this over. I was really excited to receive this one. Always excited to try new products. That's it for the unboxing. I do want to do a follow-up video on this after I've played with it for a bit. I want to show you guys how to set it up, what all the USB ports do, how to configure it, what options it has. But I just received this today, so I'm excited to share more in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Peace.
You can learn a thing or two about a new device. Unboxing kudos, we rock that pseudo administrative elevator command. We build it up or break it down in that virtual lab. From conversations to games to interviews with a broader view. He keeps it fresh, always brings something new. It's MikeTheTech, MikeTheTech, the architect. MikeTheTech, yeah. MikeTheTech, the architect.